Buongiorno, everyone. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Contessa, Catalina's wine mixer with a guest that I am so excited to bring to you today. I can't even stand it. Miss Jade DeVere. I am such a fan. I love this.
I am such a fan of yours, darling.
Oh my goodness. How are you on this lovely day?
Fantastic. I got up early. I barely had time to put any makeup on.
Oh, you look beautiful nonetheless.
Thank you.
I love this floral thing going on. Contessa, she used to wear a beautiful flower crown, but you know, I switch it up a little bit, but I love what you got going on.
Oh, thank you. This is what we call put more stuff on until it looks presentable.
I usually do the opposite. I take things off. But that's all right. I'm not allowed to do that in front of Her Majesty, which is why it's so great. We do our unlaced concerts now, so we can do them, you know. I do this. I took off all of my things except this skivvies for today. So. But I love this. I love what you... Oh, I love your cup. Look at that.
Oh, thank you. It's just a regular one I found in the Amazon.
Oh, in the Amazon. That looks like something that my cousin would serve the sacramental wine out of. As you can see today, we ran out of sacramental wine. Lots and lots of people needed to repent for their sins today, so I didn't have much left over. So this is vodka.
Lovely. A toast.
A
to
toast.
get toasted.
I like that. Salad. So for those of you who do not know, I don't think anyone watching does not know the beautiful, wonderful, majestic Jade DeVere. But would you like to tell the folks a little about yourself? You are the first guest that we have had on that is not a member of Chase Treasure, so I would like you do the introduction. Go ahead.
Oh, fantastic. Well, my name is Jade DeVere. I'm a drag performer based out of the central Pennsylvania area. Every Wednesday night, you can catch my interactive vodcast called Inside the Drag Closet. We're on at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WLFE-DB Radio. I'm also a regular member of a cast member and staff director of the New Jersey Renaissance Fair. Hopefully everything will be fine this year and we will have a wonderful, wonderful season. Oh, the plague has effed up so much.
It surely has. But I am confident. I'm confident because Shakespeare has already written his new play. You know, the rats have already scurried out. The last time this happened, we were fine. So we're getting there.
Absolutely.
I wonder what Shakespeare has written this time. Last time he wrote Lear.
Ooh, never heard of him.
Oh, that's all right. He's kind of funny looking, got an earring, you know, don't worry about it.
Oh, it's really hard for a DeVere to promote Shakespeare.
Well, you know, we are on the topic now, and I was going to get into topics that the Patreon subscribers, my lovely, lovely subscribers over on Patreon, have suggested for us to talk about. But I'm going to say, hold your horses, because I have something I would like to talk to Miss Jade DeVere about today. And it is on the topic. I know it is hard. I know it is hard for a DeVere to talk about Shakespeare. But if you were to talk about Shakespeare, just hypothetically, a sweet word for me, all right? Hypothetically, if you could play any role in a Shakespeare play, what would it be and why?
I picked out my outfit today because I've always wanted to play Titania. However, she's not my dream role. Not typically. I've played my dream role numerous times. I have played Puck several times already. I would love to play Puck again, but it would have to be a very interesting interpretation of it. But my dream role is Olivia from 12th Night.
No, really?
Yeah, I want to play Olivia so badly.
Oh, you would do an excellent job at that.
I'm not
just saying that because I have played Olivia in 12th
Night. In the production I was in with you.
We go back a ways, Jade and myself. So, that was such a fun role. You would be excellent in it. And actually, one of our Chase Treasure ladies was also in that production playing. She was Viola, yeah.
Right.
That's right. Very tall, very short haircut, very cute. Listen, Catalina was very happy with the casting.
That was so much fun.
Looked nothing like her Sebastian at all.
Not even slightly. That's the best when you do a production and there's two people supposed to be twins and you're like, well, this is what we've got.
Works for me. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. That was fun. That was a fun show. But I do have to say, the performance of Puck that I was lucky enough to be a part of, again, we go back, for those of you who do not know Jade, we were in a production of Midsummer Night's Dream before, and I absolutely played Hermia.
Obviously.
It wasn't going to be anyone else. You know what? I've embraced the short jokes at this point. I've embraced them. I am still the teeny treasure. I'm still
Hermia's another one I would love to play.
Is Hermia?
Mm-hmm.
Hermia is a little spitfire. She's fun.
I want the whole puppet monologue. Puppet? Why so? Oh, I'm going to cut you. That's what that is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness. I love that people, like, if you don't know the context of Though She Be But Little, She Is Fierce, that is not spoken about a strong woman character who fights back. No. That is spoken screaming. Helena is screaming it, running away, because Hermia is trying to literally claw out her eyes. It is literally what she says. And she says, help me. I think it was Lysander she jumped behind. It was one of the boys. And she knows, like, save me, help me. She's tiny, but she's literally trying to kill me. That is what that phrase is from, for those of you who don't know.
Watch Midsummer. It's amazing.
Oh, it's so good. Any production too. Anyone. I recently saw a production. It was cinematic quality with oh my goodness, who is the gentleman who was from Game of Thrones who play? Oh, let's see,
Stanley Tucci as Puck. Yes.
Yes, it was so good.
I love that version.
Mm-hmm. Very good, very good. So I guess I need to answer this question as well.
Absolutely.
I feel like it has to be the Italians, but so far I have already played Juliet's. I don't have to do that again.
Right.
Okay, once is fine. Technically, I did it twice, but we're not getting into that. West Side Story counts.
It does.
It does. I have some stories about that show, which is not something I would admit because I shouldn't have been playing that role in the first place. But there's some. It was interesting.
I feel like we all have a role that we're just like, that's probably not what I should be playing.
To be fair, I was 15, and nobody told me not to do it, and I didn't really have any say in it. It was, but anyway. Oh boy. I will tell the story very quickly because it's very funny. I never want to play this role again. Not that I could or ever would try to, but when I play the role, we all know, spoilers, it's Romeo and Juliet. Tony dies, right? And the poor child playing Tony was like 6 feet tall. He was a large, not big, just a larger person. And I am, as we have described, very small. I'm much smaller than I look. If you have not met me in person or see me on a stage, I'm much smaller than I look, all right? So... Anyway, I'm the littlest treasure. He died in this dramatic moment in the lap of Maria, who is the Juliet. And there is a dramatic moment where there is a hush falls over everyone. And in her beautiful white ruffled dress, Maria stands up and delivers this powerful monologue where she slowly descends into madness. And she is going to do that. It is the Happy Dagger speech, but modernized into the 1960s. And apparently, as Tony died, his belt buckle turned to the back of his pants and caught onto the ruffles of Maria's skirt. And as Maria stood up, all like 180 pounds of Tony stayed down, and the skirt did not come with Maria. In that moment. And I had to deliver the monologue regardless of the absence of a skirt.
And that's the mark of a true performer.
So I don't think I ever want to play Juliet again. I'm all right without it. There's too many times. I would say, I have to round out the Italians. I would like to play Desdemona.
Ooh,
I would like to play Desdemona. I already have a hanky. It's got strawberries on it. I'm ready to go.
I have a question. Who do you want to see me play?
All right, so it already sort of happened. I would like to see a reprise with the original text, Lady Macbeth.
I would love to do that.
Yes, absolutely.
I did Death by Fluffy Kittens with our wonderful Shakespeare Approves.
Yes.
I do want to do a legit Lady Macbeth.
Yes, I would be all on board for that. I would love to see Puck again, but I've already seen Puck. It doesn't count, but I would want to see it again. Yeah,
You know what's funny?
I would want that.
I would want to see you as Puck.
Interesting take. Yes, do sort of the the 8-year-old Mickey Rooney version. Just
Yes, that's what I need in my life.
If you have not seen that version, it's actually spectacular. It's from the 30s. And he did an excellent job. He was like 8 or 9 years old, and he just stands there and hoots like a monkey. It's very strange. It's very good. Very weird.
That whole play is just strange. Let's just get to that.
All right. So that was my question for you.
I love that.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh, wait a minute. We have a comment that I would like to address here. I saw a production of Midsummer where there were 2 Pucks on stage at all times. It was chaos.
Oh,
And it was brilliant.
that's it. We tag team the part.
Yes. Oh my goodness. We could have the same wig in different colors.
Yes.
You know, we could switch back and forth.
Have you seen? There's this beautiful production of it. Gwendolyn Christie plays Titania, but what they do is super clever because she's Titania, but after the initial Oberon and Titania scene, they switch, and Oberon falls in love with Bottom, and Titania is the one creating all the chaos.
What? That's amazing.
It's ridiculous.
Huh. So at the end of the day, it really is. It's a better version of the show because Titania had every right to be mad at Oberon for trying to steal that kid.
Exactly.
So she's the one who should get the revenge because I've always thought that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly how that should be.
Oh, and wait a minute. She said Jade was my favorite Lady Macbeth so far.
Aw.
Aww.
That was so much fun. That was my first time being a ginger.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm. I've had red wigs before, but they were always like red. But this was a legitimate natural hair color. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. She might be able to do this.
I love that. I really do. I'm trying to think. I got some really good questions on Patreon. And one of the questions really intrigued me because I would love to know the backgrounds for you as well. Get a little meta for a moment, not that we haven't yet. But the question was, how do you ladies choose the names that you are known as in front of audiences? Not quite stage names, because they're not quite our stage names, but our character names, our names that people know us as.
It's funny, I was talking about this live streaming earlier. Originally, I did dinner theater, and Jade was a creation. She was a vampire in a Halloween show.
Ah, I did not know this.
So, and in my years of doing theater, there was a drag competition in Harrisburg, and they were looking for coaches, and they wanted me to come in just for a night and do a theater challenge with the contestants. And then one of the judges bowed out. One of the coaches became a judge, and they were like, can you do 14 weeks of drag? I said yes.
Yes.
We're getting ready to go downstairs and be announced as the coaches. And they were like, so what's your drag name? My what? So for a hot minute, I was like, okay, I've played Edward DeVere before. And I love Absolutely Fabulous. Eddie DeVere. Eddie. And everyone's like, that's horrible. That's a boy's name. You can't do that. So I was like, Jade DeVere. Sure, that's it. And here I am, over 10 years later, still with the name Jade DeVere.
I could not imagine any other name, though. I mean, it personifies you. It really does.
I think I've decided Jade is the middle name. Her real name is Adina DeVere, but she goes by Jade.
That's like people. All right, listen. Nobody knew until my trading card came out that when I say Donna Catalina Tortellini, Donna's the first. It's everyone in their name. It's Donna Catalina. But who goes by their first name?
True. Very true.
I would never. That's amazing. I love that. Jade's just my middle name, you know.
The middle name. It's the cute name.
It's very Italian of you because everyone in my family is Maria something or Donna something.
That's
Or
fair.
Donna Maria, which is worse.
What's your name? All of the things that you've heard before.
Oh my goodness, this is a real story. This is a real thing that happened over the dinner table last night. My lovely grandmother is with us at the moment because of the plague. And I'm enjoying spending time with her. And we were talking last night over the dinner table over pasta, mind you. We were absolutely eating spaghetti while we were doing this, which just occurred to me. I'm not lying about any of this. We were trying to decipher how many Michaels there were just on one layer of the family cake. Like not over here, not over there, just of the Melgranas, how many Michaels there were. And there were a lot. Yeah, it was very exciting. Oh, hello to Eileen.
We love her.
So much. We are talking about food, but we are not talking about puppies. But I feel like we should start talking about puppies because you are here.
There they are.
Oh.
I'm putting the titty into Tanya.
I love it. I love it. Yes, and speaking of you were saying puppies, I was just thinking of, I have to answer the question as well. Is the cat part, is the kitty cats, my original, the very first time I worked at, I'm not going to get into details here, the very first time I worked at Renaissance Festivals, which was, I'd never gone to or performed at before, so it was brand new to me, and I was known in the area in which I worked, which I'm not going to get into, I was known as Panthera. That was my nickname. I was known as Panthera. And when I got the opportunity to perform with Chase Treasure, another, I don't want to say 6 months to a year later, they say, okay, you need a name. And I went through a bunch of ideas, and I was like, well, I can't be Panthera. That would be ridiculous. But I thought cats made a lot of sense. Cats made a whole lot of sense. We already had a Lady Catherine. I said, I can do that. So then I thought, well, what else could I do? And of course, Step Brothers is the greatest film of all time. So it is Catalina. And that is why you are watching Catalina's Wine Mixer.
I love that story.
Right? That is the truth. That people are, one person over how long I've been doing this, 5 years now, one person has got it. One person has stopped me and said, the Catalina Wine Mixer. I said, yes, sir. And that person wasn't even an audience member. It was a member of the Greatest Pirate Story. It's like, is that? I'm like, yes, it is. Thank you very much. It's taken 5 years.
That's amazing. I was at my normal job yesterday, and I was getting ready to do a show, and one of the girls in the audience, I'm taking her to a seat. She's like, you're Jade DeVere, aren't you? And I'm like, I don't know who you're talking about. But afterward, she comes to my shows all the time. I'm like, amazing. Mm-hmm. Sadly, I haven't done a live show since last February, but...
I mean, but see, it is branding. Mm-hmm. It is, like I said, I could not imagine another name to go with that beautiful face. I could not. Not enough. I would like to jump into it. We're jumping. This is the most chaotic
interview
so far. And I apologize, but we had
You've been on my show. You know how it goes.
Which was a pleasure, by the way. We had the conversation day one of this show with Lady Rosaline and Lady Morgan. A Patreon subscriber asked the question, what is the best date you have ever been on? It was a great question. And they both describe a date that began their long-lasting marriages. And they both described eating Chinese food. And I think we discovered that the reason that Catalina and others are still single is because I don't eat enough Chinese food with boys. So I guess I have to ask the same question to Jade. Jade, either... in your previous dating life or with your current wonderful husband, is Chinese food the reason that you are together?
I will take that question and raise it a little bit more. Our first date was a Chinese American fusion restaurant And the food was amazing and the date was horrible.
Oh
Absolutely terrible. There was no chemistry. There was no bond. We were not on the same page. And as soon as the date was over, he asked me if I wanted to continue hanging out. And I was like, no, I have stuff to do.
You are joking. But it was Chinese food.
It actually sort of, because I had Japanese, because I had sushi. I have no idea. I don't remember what he had. I didn't care. It was so awkward. And I went off. I did the New Jersey Renaissance Fair. He carried on with his life. And then several months later, I ended up, I think I dated someone else for a brief while. And as soon as that ended, I was just like, I'll give him another shot. Here I am. I've been married 6.5 years and I am ridiculously happy.
You are, when I say couple goals, I mean it. I really do. You're so sweet. And it counts, is what I'm trying to say. I was talking about this with Elsa recently. And I said, you and I need to have on Valentine's Day, we're doing another episode of this because it is a Sunday. And I said, why don't you just come on and we will eat Chinese foods over the videos. And maybe someone will land on our front step. Maybe Icarus will fall down and be like, hey, you want a date? You know what I mean? Like, it could happen.
Who's delivering that food?
Ooh.
You never know.
You never know. More Chinese foods.
Exactly.
And also, I want to point out that Jillian is here for the chaos. And
buckle up, kids. It's going to get weird.
It's going to get worse from here. Speaking of, I know exactly what question I want to ask you next. This also came from Patreon. Recently, another person who knows and loves you had seen a beautiful little video that you had put out featuring a song from Six the Musical.
Yes.
I also saw it. Great. It is great. Do you want to talk a little about that video? Because it is. I wish I had it queued up. I didn't even think to load.
So I wanted to do. I love that musical. That musical is so clever and so ahead of its time. I was logicking to myself, if I were in a production of it, the only song I vocally can hit is Get Down. And so originally when I did it, I sang live. And then I listened to the playback and I was like, I need better recording equipment because this is embarrassing. So
I'm sure you sounded beautiful, but I understand with the ambient noises and yes.
Exactly. I just invested in one of these thingies. So I'm like, I'm trying to step up my game. So I was like, I want to, I'm gonna lip sync it. I lip synced that, and I'm not saying that Heart of Stone is hiding there somewhere and in the works, but Heart of Stone might be my favorite song from that show. It's such a strong song.
Yes.
Yes. I want to do an all lip sync version of Six. I want to find 5 friends and we all just lip sync the entire show.
I still need to do that version of Don't Lose Your Head that you had asked for me for Musical Thursdays. The problem is that it is such a speak sing. I would have to do something like what you did. I would have to have like pre-records and play it because it's got to have a little cuts and stuff. But
exactly. That's such a fun song.
Oh my goodness. It gets stuck in my head at least once a week.
I wish that's the song that's stuck in my head, but I will get sections of House of Holbein. Welcome to the house of Holbein, yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's what happens. And that's what it's like in my house all day, every day.
Don't do that too loud. You're going to summon a German brother. He's like, how's my Wiener girl? Anyway, that is a I can't pick one best song from there either. For those of you who have not seen this, Six is a new musical barely opened. I think we're still in previews before everything shut down. But the soundtrack is from the West End. It's very good if you want to take a listen.
It's actually not even the West End cast.
No.
It's the Edinburgh cast. It's the test run.
Oh, it's really good though.
Oh, absolutely.
Wait. Techno green sleeves. It is. If you ever wanted to hear techno green sleeves, yes.
Like you listen to it and you're like, well, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, we might summon Elsa as well.
It's true. I'm all right with that. I adore her.
Oh my goodness, she's wonderful. She's wonderful. We had such a nice. I was rewatching. We had such a nice, perfect interview, back and forth. The questions that were given to her were nice. Her responses were so measured and sweet. And I said, it's going to be a total 180 when I have Jade on, because we're going to be doing this.
Welcome to the wine mixer.
Oh, this has been a treat. And those of you who are watching live, feel free to put questions into the comments if you have anything you want to ask. I had one more question, and I'm trying to think what it was, because I didn't. It was a very recent one, and I wanted to make sure that I remember. But I would say, for example, choosing what you wore today. Now, I know that I am here in my skivvies. One of the things I would like to know is what was the inspiration? I know you say you want to look like Titania, you are succeeding, but just when you go to pick out what Jade's outfit of the day is. Catalina, I wear the same thing every day. So I'd love to know what your process is.
So it all depends. For my podcast, I try to think, okay, who are my guests? Mm-hmm. What kind of topics are we talking about? Mm-hmm. The first show in February is celebrity impersonators. Mm. I am intimidated by this because that's not in my wheelhouse.
Interesting.
I can do a pretty great Jennifer Coolidge, though. It's gonna be amazing.
You need to go. I'm sure there's lots of them in like Goodwill right now. You need to get like a red, white, and blue, like the kinds of bathing suits that the college girls will wear at a frat party on 4th of July. Mm-hmm. And you got to get a red solo cup. You got to wear that. And that
makes me want a hot dog real bad.
That's exactly what I was going to tell you to do.
So, and the funny thing is, today I didn't know what I was going to do. I had a lot of ideas. I'm like, I don't want to repeat myself because this is a more fair-based audience. And I'm like, they're going to see me in some crap they've seen me in already. I don't want to do that. And then I wore my Titania dress again. But I was live streaming earlier and I'm just like looking at my wig rack and I'm like, which one of you are gonna be the one today? I don't know. And then I kept on looking at this hair and I'm like, she's so fun. She's, a quadruple ombre. Oh. And I was like, I need to do that. And I want to make my makeup match. Now, when I'm doing shows, it's trickier because on a normal drag show, you're doing 3 numbers. Mm-hmm. So your makeup has to match all 3 looks or be easy enough to switch.
Right.
So yeah, that's the tricky thing. So today I was just kind of like, I was feeling my orange. Like orange is one of those colors that just makes me happy. So I was like, we're going to do orange in the eyes. We're going to add my sunflowers. This outfit was originally made by Kate Hopkins. For those who don't know, Kate Hopkins from Roundtable Productions, amazing, amazing human being. And I had flower work all through here and just flowers everywhere.
This dress originated on a horse. Not like the horse wearing it, but the person wearing it on the horse is
exactly.
So like I can imagine, I can't see the bottom of it, but I can imagine how beautiful it is.
Actually, no, she specifically made this for me.
Oh, see, really?
Oh, absolutely. We've been friends for years.
All right.
So her and I went fabric shopping. I was competing for a pageant, and it was for Queen of Hope. And it was I was like, what brings you hope? What makes you optimistic? I was like, fairies and magic. My whole theme of the night was magic. So I did, Titania, I did blonde hair and I had wings and everything. Our fabulous Sultana Lila was one of my dancers and dresser for the night.
I I can't wait to have her on this show.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm thinking about how our conversation is going to be very similar to this conversation where we just start doing this.
Yep. Stuff happens. Da da da. But I did Titania as my my creative fashion.
Mhm.
The music playing underneath it was Katy Perry's "Unconditionally"
Ugh.
without the vocal track. So it was just that beautiful song playing as I modeled. Went backstage, changed into my talent outfit, which was oh god, I completely just blanked. From Pippin, No Time at All. Where I played an elderly woman in her rocking chair with her cane, and I had James Ellaby and Sultana Laila as two young kids who are in love.
I've
And
seen this. It's spectacular. I've
the
seen
two
it.
that I shoved them together at the very end, and they're just like, this is it. And then I had this beautiful green evening gown, which I would love to wear on my show, but it's green, so it would be invisible, because magic. And when I won the pageant, my acceptance number was Unconditionally with the audio in it.
That's amazing.
I was
That's
like,
amazing. I love it, and that makes a lot. I actually have one quick question from Aileen. Is asking a very good question.
So I'm actually wearing 3 pairs of lashes. These are actually I found these at Walmart. They're nope, can't see it. There we go. F&M. They are from Wet n Wild. I will take these and I will stack 3 pairs of them on each other.
Wow.
I used to do lower lashes, but now I don't have any eyeliner on, believe it or not. This is all eyeshadows.
It looks amazing. And the patience and I'm a little afraid of you because of the amount of patience that you have, because you've proven it. And that means that if you ever wanted to kill someone.
Oh, absolutely.
You'll never know
who I am. And the funny thing is, if I get close enough, you can actually see, like, the lashes look great, but if I come closer, they're nowhere near my lash line.
And that's all right, because it looks beautiful.
It's smoke and mirrors. I mean, look at these.
They're beautiful as well. That's why they call you Titania.
Exactly. Flat as a board.
I just have to share this because Lady Rosaline may or may not be watching this. I just did a photo caption contest on the Patreon that I have going right now, and a very lucky winner just won one of my trading cards for putting a caption that made me laugh so hard I almost snorted my water out my nose. And the caption, it was a photo of, it was at the Pittsburgh Fair a little while ago. And I don't know what it was we were doing, but Lady Rosaline and I were like doubled over laughing, but she was on top of me, grabbing at my chest because we were laughing so hard. So it is her bed like this, and me bed spoon behind her, and she's grabbing here. And we're both laughing hysterically. And the caption that was placed underneath by this the winner was something like, "Catalina, stop trying to get away. I finally have an ample chest." And I felt really bad laughing at it. So Lady Rosaline, if you are watching, I want you to know I felt bad laughing at it, but that person won.
I remember we were doing the after hours concert at the New Jersey Renaissance Fair, and I got to be a special guest for that concert. And when we weren't on stage, it was basically like, who wants to borrow my boobs?
Mm-hmm.
Boobs. And I think the final number, Lady Catherine is in fact wearing my boobs because my outfit had cups and I didn't need them that much.
A good lady shares her boobs with other ladies.
True. I just got a breastplate, which is a bib of boobs.
Bibbidi bobbidi boobs.
Exactly.
You're everyone's fairy godmother. Because
I am.
Tanya, I love it. It's done.
That's her real power. She shares bosom with the world.
You're a bosom buddy.
I gotta go.
What would we say? Those the last concert that we just did, Ladies on Lace. we spent about 10 minutes of a 40-minute concert saying the word areola. So, I mean, what is new? If you did not catch the concert with Lady Morgan and Lady Agnes and myself, there is a good chunk of it where we just keep saying areola over and over.
I was so worried. So last week on my podcast, we were talking about what breastplates were, because they are legitimately a bib of breasts for drag performers. And my co-host Anastasia gets hers out and shows it, and I'm like, and I was like, okay, the areola is not colored. It's the same color as the rest of the bosom, because there is a weird legality even in showing a fake bosom.
Really? Because you would think.
If I'm presenting female and I take my shirt off, I can be arrested for that. It's a weird thing.
Interesting. Because I guess you would never think of that, but you are right. That is something that's like we get over enthusiastic in our unlaced concerts, and we have to remember not to do this in our chairs. And then we'll never have another one.
Exactly. Well, that's the drag life right now, because I joke all the time. I have not been in drag from the waist down all year. I'm in drag from the waist up. I am wearing gym shorts and I have hairy legs.
Sorry.
But yeah.
Yes, no, it's the same. I mean, I've got fuzzy socks on, so. Oh my goodness.
I'm living my hippie fantasy with my hairy legs hanging out right now. There's nothing wrong with it.
I adore you. I hope you know this. I've been looking forward to this for so long. You know what? I would like you to tell a story.
All right.
You recently told me this story in privacy of live, but I feel like this is a story people need to know about. So speaking of Shakespeare, speaking of playing roles in Midsummer Night's Dream, not only did you play Puck in stage version, a condensed version, but a stage version of Midsummer Night's Dream, you also played the role of Puck in the New Jersey Renaissance Festival as a walk-around character, part of the plots. Yes, I just want to throw this up here real quick before I keep going. That is absolutely what happens.
Right.
Absolutely. Hairy legs optional, but definitely PJ pants. I mean, who knows? But you had the most incredible performance of Puck. And it came to my attention that I was not involved in any way with the joust at that production, which is unusual.
I know where this is going.
That this had happened. So would you like to tell, if you don't want to tell a story,
I will tell the world.
I would like you to tell it, because I'm still laughing about it. I was like brushing my teeth the other day and I started laughing because I thought about it. So just enlighten us, please.
So there's a fun experience when you take a stage character and turn them into an interactive character. And I've played Puck a number of times, and I like to look at the folklore of a character and then go, I'm going to use this. This doesn't intrigue me. And then, read the play, learn some things. And I was like, wait a minute. Puck is Loki. Puck is a troublemaker. Puck is a shapeshifter. I can't exactly play a shapeshifter. So I did the next best thing. So we're at the joust. I broke our good Lady Duchess so many times because I was on the dais with them. And anytime one of the knights would ride by or ride up to the dais, I would flirt with the horse. And it was bad. It was like a scene out of Family Guy where Peter Griffin is hitting on women at the Miss Universe contest, where they'd come up and I'd be like, hey, how you doing? Do you joust here often? And then they'd ride away. I'm like, oh, fine. I didn't want to talk to you anyway. You've got small hooves anyway. And then the next one, oh, hi. Fancy meeting you here. Are you enjoying the joust so far? Oh, fine. Just ride away. There wasn't a conversation. It's fine. The whole joust, I'm just hitting on horses. And luckily the audience couldn't hear everything I was saying because sometimes it was not kid-friendly.
No.
My goal was to break everybody who was on stage with me. This is why we don't use microphones very often.
Not on the dais. For those Renaissance Fair fans, I know a bunch of you watch this. I love every single one of you. And you love to hear the backstage things that go on. And one of the things is there is a good reason why A, the knights can mute themselves, and B, the people on the dais don't even get microphones at all. And this goes for every festival across the country, because if you want to know the time of day when we are most tired, most sweaty, and most ready to do something ridiculous, it is at a joust.
One of the worst horror stories I ever experienced. I'm not even going to mention the Renaissance Fair, but this was ages ago. If you know me, you know. So I was cheerleading a joust many, many years ago. It was me and someone else on one side, 2 people on the other side, and we were having a great time, you know, standing in front of a few thousand people, and all of a sudden we hear the Queen talking. She's not here yet. She's on the other side of the fair, getting ready to do a parade. And we're like, oh, that's not normal. And then we hear the Queen arguing with someone she's dating. And then it gets a little too aggressive. I jump off the fence, run across the fair site, run up to her, and I'm like, Your Majesty, shut up, your mic's on. And she's like,
Oh no.
The whole conversation. Luckily, we were cheering really loudly to cover it. But
3-word phrase. 3-word phrase.
But there were obscenities said. It was, I felt bad for her because she was so embarrassed. But, you know, things happen.
I just remember, speaking of horses, do you remember, we're just spilling all the tea. This has totally gone away from questions and answers. This is just spilling tea. Do you remember the festival a few years ago where, speaking of the Lady Kates and speaking of the Duchess and dioceses and horses, you know where this is going. We were standing next to each other. The Lady Evangeline was there, the Lady Morgan was there, and it was a joust. None of us had microphones, which was good, because we were not behaving anyways. And one of the ponies, I believe it was the Lady Kate's pony, but I don't remember whose it was specifically, was having gastrointestinal issues.
No, Dame Catherine was there with us, and she was like, great, the dais just got crop dusted.
That's exactly what it was. So this pony, as it rode by, now, the Duchess had a microphone, and it was turned on for her phrases. So one of her phrases, which was something like, to the death, or something like actually serious, all you heard was, and it was awful. And we had to stand there like nothing was wrong, but you could see the pony kept lifting his tail, and we're like, oh no, not again.
That was the moment where the entire dais just turned away from the audience, cackled like banshees, and then turned around like, we hate this.
The Lady Morgan hit the ground. She could not stand. We had to cover her because she had to sit. It was something. So yes, those of you who want a little backstage information about the Renaissance festivals, the jousts, whatever's going on up on the dais is nothing good.
It's true. You do want to hear it, but you do not want, your children do not want to hear it.
Oh my goodness. And it's worse when the knights come up to get the little thingies to put on they have to come up and do the presentation or whatever. That's when the worst things happen. Oh. I'm not going to get into detail, but just so you know, there's an ongoing story about ripe mangoes that originated on a dais and carried into other festivals. So if you just want to know, nothing good comes of this. And every party involved is just as bad.
2 years ago in New Jersey, I don't know why they trust any of us on the dais during joust. They should just, nope, master of the list, that's it. We were all, I don't know what was going on, because usually for the first joust of the day, that's our chance to relax and eat and still look presentable. So we all had orange slices. So, including Dame Catherine. So we all put orange slices in our mouth. Salute each other, salute the dais, and we're all like, both nights are like, do not trust us, ever.
Oh my goodness. So I just need to tell you, usually these shows go on for about 45 minutes. We are at the 45-minute mark, and I am in no way ready to end our conversation.
Same.
This is just ridiculous. But I will have to say we are going to sort of gauge. It's probably the best idea that they have had in a while, because and Chase Treasure, apparently, I know a lot of different festivals, there's a lot of different ways of doing this, but at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair, apparently this past year, Chase Treasure was invited on the dais, because what else were they doing at the time? And I heard that it was fun up there too, so just stop inviting us up on daises.
They invite you up as long as you're far away from the audience.
And no microphones. No microphones. Make sure your ponies don't have gastrointestinal distress.
That sound that
I hear it in my nightmares.
The horse needed propulsion.
It runs on gas.
And so did we.
Oh my goodness, I hate to end this. I'm having more fun than I think I probably should as someone in charge of anything. But Miss Jade DeVere, please come back on the show anytime you want, because this has been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to give you a minute or two, plug all of the things that you are doing. I want you to talk about your podcast, new things coming up for you, where we can pay you money, whatever.
Excellent. So you can find my show every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is called Inside the Drag Closet on WLFE-DB Radio. You can watch on Facebook Live. You can find the link on Facebook, as well as over on YouTube. You will find it on my personal YouTube page. We were going to make its own YouTube page, and then we're like, no, let's hijack all of my followers already. You know, smart. Other than that, I'm not making live appearances right now, so if you had a good time, you can always send me a tip at Jade DeVere on Venmo. I will not say no. And currently, I don't have much else lined up. I do have a few fantastic shows. If you watch Inside the Drag Closet this week, our theme is, it's me and my lovely co-host, Anastasia Diamond, Scarlet Overkill, and Amethyst Diamond. We are doing a slumber party. I'm very excited about that. I told them all to wear their pajamas. Anastasia is terrified because she doesn't own any. It's going to be a neat
I understand.
The
So
struggle is real.
I am so glad that you have been on here. Now I'm going to promote myself while we're at it.
Okay.
Those of you who would like to participate in upcoming episodes and would like to ask questions of our next guest, you can do so on patreon.com/Christina Koya. I don't know who that is. And tiers start as low as $2 a month, and you have access to most of the things on there. And next week, we have a very special guest, my absolute favoritist bagpipers in the whole world, Haggis Rampants, are going to be on. I love them, love them, love them. So I would look forward to next week, but I am so sad that we have to end this interview now. But that's all right, because you're going to come back.
Absolutely.
Right? Absolutely. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful week. Stay tuned. Musical Thursday is up again this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I'll be doing something ridiculous, as you know. Goodbye, everyone.